All right, let's just dive right in. We are tracking an absolutely massive shift in the world of web search right now. If you've been relying purely on traditional search methods to drive your traffic, you can probably feel the ground shifting under your feet. But as we'll see in this explainer, this is definitely not a moment to panic. It's actually this incredible opportunity to learn the new rules of the game.
Check this out. 58%. As of December 2025, just the mere presence of an AI overview on Google straight up reduces the click-through rate for the #1 ranking page by a staggering 58%. I mean, think about that. For every 100 clicks you used to bank on from holding that top spot, Google's AI is now keeping 58 of them right there on the results page. That is a huge chunk of traditional traffic literally just vanishing.
And if that doesn't create a sense of urgency, consider this. ChatGPT alone now boasts 900 million weekly users. Let that sink in for a second. It's handling roughly 12% of all Google search volume. People are fundamentally changing how they ask the internet questions. They want conversational AI assistants, not endless pages of blue links.
So the big takeaway here? AI traffic to websites has absolutely exploded. We're talking about a growth rate of 9.7 times in just the past year alone. When a channel grows nearly tenfold in 12 months, you really only have two choices, right? You can ignore it, watch your traffic shrink and complain, or you can figure out exactly how this new ecosystem works and completely capitalize on it. Which brings us to the silver lining in all of this: 23 times higher conversions.
Now, before you panic about lost clicks, look at the disproportionate value we're seeing here. Back in June of 2025, Ahrefs noticed that AI search made up just a tiny 0.5% sliver of their total traffic. But get this, that exact same tiny sliver drove a massive 12.1% of their total product signups. That is a 23 times higher conversion rate than traditional organic search. So yeah, the overall click volume might be shifting, but the clicks you do get from AI, they are incredibly primed, highly qualified, and totally ready to take action.
So how do we actually capture those clicks? That brings us to defining this new frontier, AEO.
Welcome to the world of Answer Engine Optimization, or AEO for short. Basically, this is the practice of making your content visible and genuinely useful to AI systems that deliver direct answers. We're talking about optimizing for platforms like Google AI Overviews, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Copilot. The goal isn't just to be in their index anymore, it's to be so relevant and authoritative that these AI models actively choose to cite you as the source for their synthesized answers. Quick aside here, because things are moving so fast, you might also hear this called GEO, Generative Engine Optimization, or LLMO, Large Language Model Optimization. Honestly, don't let the alphabet soup confuse you. They all mean the exact same thing. So we're just going to stick with AEO for this explainer.
All right, let's look at traditional SEO versus AEO.
The divide between the two is actually pretty brilliant. In traditional SEO, your whole strategy is about competing for a position in a vertical list, right? You want to climb to number 1, 2, or 3 so someone clicks you. But with AEO, there is no list. The AI reads dozens of sources instantly, synthesizes a custom answer, and decides who to mention. You're literally competing for a citation in a synthesized conversation.
But hey, do not throw away your old playbooks just yet. AEO does not replace SEO. It builds right on top of it. Think of SEO as your sturdy foundation. The fundamentals absolutely still matter. You still need high-quality content, you still need topical authority, and you definitely need solid technical health for your site. AEO is just the next layer. It's how you future-proof all that great foundational work.
Now, I know some of you are probably wondering if AI is just going to completely kill traditional SEO. Let's talk about the zero-sum cognitive bias.
As Ethan Smith from Graphite points out, that fear comes straight from a psychological trap. The zero-sum bias is basically the assumption that if something new goes up, something old must automatically go down. We see AI search skyrocketing, and we just wrongly assume traditional search is dying a rapid death.
To see why that's totally false, just look back to 2010 when the App Store blew up. Everyone was screaming that websites were dead and mobile apps were taking over the world. And sure, apps became a massive industry, but the web didn't die. It grew right alongside them. AI search is going to be the exact same story. Google is still processing billions of regular searches every single day. The smartest businesses aren't panicking, they're just learning to play both games at the same time.
And the proof is right there in the data. Ahrefs actually found that their content was mentioned almost 7,500 times across over 2,300 pages in AI search. And the craziest part? That was without even trying to optimize for AI. That happened purely organically just because they were doing solid traditional SEO. Imagine what happens when we take that foundation and intentionally optimize for these answer engines.
So, how do we get intentional? Let's break down the AEO action plan. Here's the roadmap for mastering this stuff, broken down into 4 essential modules that will absolutely help future-proof your business in this new landscape.
First up, Module 1, Mechanics. Look, you can't optimize for a system if you don't know how it works. You have to dive deep into how AI actually finds content and how it decides what's worthy of a citation. And keep in mind, these platforms are different. The way ChatGPT pulls data is not the same as Perplexity or Google's AI overviews. You really need to know what visibility actually looks like across the board.
Next is Module 2, Strategy. The data here is pretty wild because it shows that brand mentions, not just the traditional backlinks we've relied on for decades, are actually the single strongest lever for AI visibility. You have to pivot your strategy toward building those mentions while also doing AEO-specific prompt and keyword research to see exactly where you stand against the competition.
Then we have Module 3, Execution, which is where the rubber meets the road. This means actively creating the kind of content that large language models naturally want to cite. You have to fix any technical roadblocks stopping AI bots from crawling your site. And surprise, it also heavily involves YouTube optimization, since video is quickly becoming a massive data source for AI visibility.
Finally, Module 4, Measurement. Because at the end of the day, you have to know if this is actually working. You need your analytics set up specifically to track AI-driven traffic, which looks totally different from traditional referral traffic. You need to run brand gap audits and really evaluate if AOE is bringing in those 23 times higher conversion rates for your specific business.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this one final thought. To truly master the mechanics of AIO, you first have to understand a hidden concept called query fanout. It is arguably the biggest secret behind why AI search works the way that it does. But what exactly is it, and how does it secretly dictate who gets cited and who gets left in the dark? Well, that's the pivotal question you'll need to answer next to stay ahead of the curve. Keep exploring, keep optimizing, and I'll catch you in the next one.